Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So in this video I'm going to be clearing some things up because I actually thought I was pretty clear about this, to be honest, but I keep seeing the same recurring questions coming up in relation to this banner. So I'm going to take this opportunity on one video to cover everything that keeps coming up again and again, and hopefully this is the only time I'll really need to talk about this going forward, because my hope is, with this banner, honestly, my hope is it's a massive failure. The whales don't summon, that whales say, nope, not doing it, and they see their revenue taking a hit and they decide not to do it like this again. That is my hope. So if that plays out that way, there would be absolutely no reason I would need to speak about this again, right? But anyway, the things I want to go over. First of all, people have said to me that I'm saying that this is better than Monster Hunter Ken. How can that be if, like, his rates are so low? Ken had the pity mileage at the side and stuff like that. I think that's been misinterpreted a little bit. Basically, when I say it's better than Monster Hunter Ken, two things. One, that doesn't make it good for a start, right? And two, with Monster Hunter Ken, most people got 12 rolls, right? So 12 summons, and the majority of people didn't get the unit. So they got 12 items of resources for growing their account, right? So if we look at it objectively, even if most people don't get AKUMA, which sucks, right? It does. You get vastly more rolls at his banner. So if it ends up being a like-for-like situation, you are going to end up with vastly larger numbers of resources that's going to help you with your account growth. So from that point of view, it's a better event, right? It doesn't mean that this is a good banner, right? That's not what we're discussing. It just simply put, because free-to-play players are going to end up with more resources from this event, resources are key to your growth and pushing forward. That in itself does make it a better event, right? So from that point of view, that is what I meant by that. The other thing that I keep seeing coming up is the fact that people who complained about pity on the last banner are the reason we don't have pity on this banner. Right, there's a couple of points I need to clear up there first of all. First off, no one has any clue what this banner was going to look like, right? The fact that it doesn't have the mileage pity like Ken at the side, no one complained about that, right? So there was actually literally not any complaints whatsoever about that. So why is that not here, right? So to people who think that people speaking about stuff on the last banner caused those things to not be put on this banner, okay, let's just say that in some weird scenario that's actually correct. Then where is the mileage thing at the side? Why is that not here? Right? So it's a massive leap to assume that anything we had in the previous banner was ever going to be implemented in this banner. They've taken a unit that should have been in the general pool, they've made them limited and harder to pull. All bets are off. You can't predict what's going to happen, right? Secondly, when it came to the last banner, no one complained about pity. I don't know why this seems to be getting so misconstrued and taken completely out of the context that it was spoken about. What people wanted was simply the pity rates to be disclosed, so that on the banner you had a fair representation of what the actual rate was. Not a single person said, we don't want pity. Like, why would anyone say that? I don't really understand why people are kind of running with that and thinking that that's what was actually said. No one ever said that. What we simply said was, if there's pity on this banner, can you tell us what the rates are? That's it. That's it. Where is pity? Nothing more. Just don't have them being hidden. Let us know what the rates are, and then that's great. Simple. That's all they had to do. So this narrative, this narrative that people talking about like pity made them take away pity. I don't know. Well, I do know where it's coming from, right? But I'll say I don't know where it's coming from because I can't be bothered with all that, right? That never happened. That literally never happened. People literally just wanted them to show the correct rates. Plain and simple. That was it. Nothing more, nothing less. So all they had to do, they had two choices. They had two choices. One, remove that pity, or two, show the rates. What's the easier choice to make? It's show the rates, right? Because if you've got pity on a banner, it makes that banner more attractive. So why would a company choose the most anti-consumer situation or solution to that problem as possible? Why would they take the most anti-consumer way of fixing it, which is removing the pity, and use that as their option to fix it, right? So anyone that has this completely misplaced anger towards members of the community, or I guess me, because I'm the one that made the video highlighting it, right? Thinking that we're the reason that you got your pity taken away. Do you not think that's a bit silly? And the reason I say do you not think that's a bit silly is you've got people who simply wanted transparency. That's it, right? And then you've got a company. That company took away this system. That company did not add this system in the next banner, right? So why would you be angry at people who simply wanted clarity? That's it. They just wanted clarity. They just wanted to know what was going on was the way it was supposed to be. If they were going to have pity numbers, where that pity was, so that if you wanted to, you could summon. Like, if someone says to you, guys, this banner, it's got 30 pity, you might decide, okay, you know what? It's worth my while buying 30 tickets then, because I'll go in and I'll summon. But if you don't know that, then how are you supposed to make that decision? Right, you're not, because everything would be decided on conjecture, on hearsay, on this person saying that happened, or this person saying that happened, and then you think you're going to get the same thing at the same point. It just leaves everything up in the air. All people wanted was clarity. So you can be angry at those people, or you can be angry at Topjoy. Everyone unfairly blames Crunchyroll, or A+, to be honest. But guys, it's not them doing it. It's not them making the decisions like this. They are literally publishing a game that's being handed to them from Chinese developers, Topjoy, who have the systems in place. They basically hand them it and say, right, roll it out. Right? They don't get to decide how this is going to be. Right? Now, what I'm trying to say to you is, why be angry at people who stand up for, I guess, consumer rights? Because that's what it is. When people are saying these things, they're standing up for their rights to see certain things, to just have disclosure. That's it. Why be angry at them when ultimately it's a company that made the decision? Like, why defend the company's stance when they could make more consumer focused decisions? They could do things like having the pity mileage at the side. They could have things like having a pity mileage along the bottom. They could do whatever they wanted, because see, to be honest, in this game you need so many copies of a unit, like so many. Even if you were to get pity every 40 rolls, you're still going to have to summon a hell of a lot of times just to get that unit up to the level that they ultimately need to be at for you to be able to use them. So I mean, you can keep commenting, but I'm not going to respond anymore. But I've made it clear. I think it's pretty silly to be upset at people who are just trying to stand up for the rights of the consumer. And secondly, no one ever asked for pity not to be on the banner. It's just absolutely fabricated nonsense. That was never ever what was spoken about. Ultimately, what do I think about this entire situation with this banner, with doing things like this to Akuma, making them limited summons? Again, I think it's awful. I mean, genuinely, I think it's awful, because now you cannot help but think characters like Vega, characters like Balrog, characters like Sagat, they're probably going to do the same thing. So we're just going to go through this every time. Okay? The only thing that could make this slightly better, and it'll still suck, is if they tell us these tickets don't expire. Okay? Because then that means if in an event you can earn, say, 12, give it 2 free events, you can then decide, right, okay, I've now saved up 30 plus of these tickets, now I'm going to summon. It sucks. It absolutely sucks, right? But at least you know that with patience, you'll eventually get the units that you want, right? Again, it's not a great solution. The best solution is just put the units into the divination pool. If you don't want to put them into the standard pool, fair enough, I guess we'll accept that. But if you put them into the divination pool, at least the value is going to be slightly better than what it is currently. Because right now, this pool is literally the divination pool, but more expensive. That's it. So, I don't think I need to tell you my stance anymore on this. It's anti-consumer, it's not good. I said in multiple videos before, the number of different currencies, summoning currencies and stuff like that in this game just blows my mind. I've got a video called Overly Aggressive Monetization. I don't feel the need to keep going over the same topics that I've already covered. My point of view hasn't changed. There just comes a point you're flogging a dead horse if I'm going to keep talking about the exact same things. So I've made my point. My ultimate point is you should be free to play at this game right now. You should, because I feel like The only time you should reward a developer is when they put effort in, when they make the game rewarding to you. And right now, they are turning this into an insane whale fest. And do you know what, guys? We are about 1 month and 1 week into launch, maybe 1 month, 2 weeks into launch of this game. So about 6 weeks. And they're not trying to win people over, it's like they're trying to drive people away. So I still think there's time to fix it. I don't think they'll ever win back the players that they've lost, but new players coming on board might get opportunities to have better functions, better systems in play, and ultimately it'll be a better game for those of us who stick around. But anyway guys, that's it, done with this topic. I've been Hayzink, thanks for watching, catch you in the next one, peace.